if you believe the rumors that are coming from believable people, the whole thing's a fucking mess. Like, it's a shit show over there. We're talking Blade. MCU Blade, more specifically. It would appear, not appear, it is fact, that the Blade's triumphant, not return, but triumphant return to the silver screen, but his first appearance in the MCU, it technically already happened because his voice was in the end of, was it the Eternals?
Yeah, with what's his face?
Not Moon
Game of
Knight.
Thrones.
Whatever the night guy.
Dark is the Black Knight. I think his character's the Black Knight.
Lots of knights. But Blade's voice, Mahershala Ali, I think Mahershala Ali or whatever. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but you hear his voice off screen in the very end of that film. But his film was supposed to start production. Well, filming was supposed to start in November, so just over a month from now. Well, the director, Bassam Tariq, has exited his role as director of Marvel Studios' Blade. So, right before the movie is supposed to start shooting, he's out. And as far as at least this report's concerned, any other report I've seen, it's not because, like with the Star Trek thing, where he's leaving to go direct something else. It doesn't say exactly why he's out. What he did have to say is, it's been an honor working with the wonderful folks at Marvel. We were able to put together a killer cast and crew, eager to see where the next directors take the film. And that's all he had to say. That's it. He's out. This is odd. He will, however, according to this report, remain attached to the project as an executive producer. And that's almost kind of like a, you signed a contract, so you get this.
yeah. Steven Spielberg has a lot of those.
Yeah, your name's on here, just whatever. So this guy's out. He's not really, while attached, he's not attached, especially not in the way he was. So Blade has no director at this point. And there's been some other things. Now, this stuff is confirmed. There have been some other rumblings and some rumors going about the production and where the story and just everything. It's a fucking mess, if you believe what everybody... Now, like I said, this stuff about the director leaving, that's all factual. Why he left, we don't know. I'm going to say that probably in a few months to a years, we're going to hear that it was creative differences. But if you believe the rumors that are coming from believable people, the whole thing's a fucking mess. Like, it's a shit show over there, and I'm wondering how long until Mahershala Ali says, I'm out. You know? When is this movie going to start hemorrhaging? You know, it's already lost its fucking director. What's next?
Yeah.
I know you probably got a bit more information on this than I do, because you had actually sent me something about some of those rumors and stuff. What do you think of this, Nick?
It's not really surprising. There hasn't been a lot of movement on this film. Yeah, they say it's November, but it's...
Mahershala Ali showed up on stage with the Blade hat, though.
Yeah, that makes it all the more
big
better.
moves.
First of all, I don't know if you're going to mention this, but about the Kevin Feige story.
Oh, what?
Okay,
Please
I'll mention. Yeah. So Kevin Feige is the Lord and Savior of the MCU. He's the one that's kind of put it into production. It's been his baby.
Oh, is this about how he's the overworked thing?
Yeah, he's overworked and spread thin, which makes absolute sense. Like, if he says, you know what's going to happen? Kevin Feige's going to have a mental breakdown. He's going to quit one of these days. But they lost their director. They're supposed to be filming in a month. They're probably still going to film in November with a different director. And it was apparently a 90-page script, which, you know, movies in general should only be the 90 to 120 pages for a script anyways, because a lot of times it's just action stuff that gets put in there.
Well, the talkative movie, they say it's usually a minute per page. With a movie that's very dialogue heavy.
Right. And you know, this would be not very dialogue heavy because it's Blade. Blade's more of a action-oriented character. And they brought in a script. They brought in someone to reconfigure the script. They brought in like a lot of times they'll do a ghostwriter and they'll bring him in to redo a script. There's a guy named Robert Towne that did that a lot, where they just bring in, writers that have experience to kind of, upkeep the movie. But apparently the movie was like very lackluster in its action. It was apparently only going to be like an hour and 30-minute movie. And it's fine to have an hour and 30-minute movie, but it's like now you're losing your director. There was probably some heated arguments behind the scenes. Maybe the director was just not prepared for what he was getting himself into. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm really indifferent about Blade, to be fairly honest. I don't know if he fits in the MCU as a whole as we're at. It's the same thing I feel about Punisher a little bit. I don't think he fits into this MCU world.
Well, they said they're not doing Punisher.
Well, no, but they're talking about him being in Born Again, the Daredevil show or whatever. But
okay.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Blade's been one of those franchises that has kind of been off in weird places ever since the Wesley Snipes era, and it just, I mean, when you see all this happen, you're a little worried. But watch, they get like Brett Ratner to come in or some shit. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't feel like it's going to be the worst thing in the world, because you remember what happened with Patty Jenkins and Thor. But it's starting to show that sometimes Marvel is not the perfect entity that it is. It's starting to show its seams. And
well, I'm with you. I don't think Blade fits the MCU. Not the Blade that from the comics
or the
movies. The Blade that people know. I mean, you put anybody in there, I guess, but I do not think he fits. I mean, this isn't going to be rated R, and all the Blade. Well, Trinity wasn't, but had a rated R version. But Blade is an R-rated character. This ain't gonna be rated R.
Yeah, I mean, what is Blade? When is Blade gonna go up against Kang and like fighting with his sword? I mean, it's so weird.
And I'm not saying they couldn't make a Blade movie, but everything doesn't have to be fucking connected. Make it outside of the MCU, because I think Blade's a cool character. I mean, Blade 1 and Blade 2 are awesome. We don't talk about Blade Trinity, but I mean, those two are really cool. So I think I would like to see another Blade movie. And Mahershala Ali I think he's a really good actor. Do I see him as Blade? I mean, I really haven't seen him in any like action-oriented roles, and very like, what's the word? Really masculine role. Nothing against him, but he's just always kind of played that more reserved character. I haven't seen him play that type of part, so he might be awesome in it. I don't know, but I don't know. Blade just doesn't seem. You said it perfect. I don't think it's a fit for the MCU, and I think that they were probably struggling to fit him into the MCU, and that it's starting to show. And this director seems like he was just like, I'm this. If all this other stuff that's going on, I don't blame the guy for being like, I'm out, man.
Yeah, I mean, like you look at DC. They had their what was the one with the Thing? They were going to do like DC Midnight, or was it DC Midnight?
It was like the Dark Justice League and all that stuff.
Yeah. Like they could do that with, Blade and whatever, Black Knight and stuff like that. Bring their own like dark universe type Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I like the fact that they're doing like Werewolf by Night and stuff like that. They're going into like the horror realm, but it just sometimes these characters, they're brought in because they're popular more than they fit into the mold. Marvel has this specific way they're doing things now, and I don't think Blade fits into that.
Blade is coming. They are making this movie as pure. The fans want it, so we're gonna make it. Yeah. But the fans don't always know what they want. They know what they think they want, and I'm a fan, so I can say that. I admit there's things I think I want, but then when we get them, it's like, oh, I didn't want that. That doesn't work. I mean, if you ask me, which nobody is, but this is probably why I'm not part of Hollywood. There is a place for Blade. It take a little bit of wheeling and dealing, and I think they could do it because they've done it before with another character. Blade does have a place, whether he gets his own movie or not. But I present a team-up film. Maybe not team-up, but at least a versus film. Maybe, I don't know. And it's a movie that I think that could get some definite traction. You need to have Blade versus or together or whatever with It's Morbin Time Part 2. I need Morbius and Blade at it again, or for the first time. I don't know. That's who they need to put these two together. That could work, in all honesty. Not the Jared Leto one, but the character of Morbius. I think that character is a Marvel character. I think that character could work within the Blade universe. I don't know if they've met up in the comics before or not, but like you said, do something like that. Do a separate thing. It does not have to be connected to the fucking MCU. Stop trying to shoehorn stuff in. Put DC, you know, talk all the shit you want about them. They at least do that. Some movies they're like, hey, this new version of Joker, we love it, but it doesn't fit with our DCEU, so we just make a side thing. And everybody seems to understand that that's a side thing.
Do you think having Kang as like the main antagonist in this series was done out of like desperation? Like they didn't know who they want, because they're apparently, for instance, Kang and MODOK's going to be in the next Ant-Man movie, and I hear MODOK's going to be like kind of just like shoehorned in like the Scarecrow was in Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, and I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like what Marvel should have done after the Infinity Saga is just do, like you said, separate movies. Maybe have some time to team up, you know, kind of they're going in so, like you said, so many different directions that it almost feels like Kang is going to be short shrifted. I don't know. I don't even know. Like I would have found somebody other than Kang. I don't know much about Kang, I guess, but I just don't feel like he's like the ultimate baddie for.
I mean, at this point, I'm with you. I don't know that much about Kang either. And I'm sure there's some super hardcore comic book fans that are like, how do you not know about Kang? Well, I mean, a lot of people I don't think do. And before Loki, they knew even less about him. Yeah, I feel like that too, because I don't know what his threat is. Thanos, I knew what his threat was. You know, I don't know what Kang, how he's a threat.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, he may be, and hopefully they pull that through, but yeah, I mean, think of like a character like Kang and Iron Man. Well, Iron Man's not in it anymore, but like Captain America and Thor and all these characters, they don't fit in what I know at least about Blade. Blade just, none of these characters that we have right now, that whole vibe, that whole feel, that world, that superhero world, I know there's comic books and he was probably in there with them. It doesn't fit. Do a separate MCU, do a DMCU, the dark MCU or something, I don't know. But yeah, this isn't looking. Do you think that the movie's gonna? I think you said a moment ago. Do you think it's actually still gonna shoot in November?
Yeah. I guarantee you they have a second choice already in line. They've honestly, this leaving of the project was probably already happened like a while ago, maybe a couple weeks or so ago, and they're just reporting it now. They probably already have someone. It's probably gonna be someone you expect them to take over. It's like, you know, anything, and I do think it's going to shoot in November. If they do push it off, it'll be like a month or so. But
Kenneth Branagh returns to the MCU for Blade.
It's like when Ron Howard came in for Solo, they started filming like a week later after the two guys.
I mean, that worked out good.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying. Well, yeah, no. I mean, yeah, it was fine. But the question is, like, who are they going to bring back? David Goyer to do Blade after all that shit? But
highly doubt that.
Yeah, bring in the Bryans, or the guys from the A24.
The Daniels.
Yes, thank you, the Daniels. Bring in the Daniels.
The Daniels need to direct everything.
Yeah, bring in RV and Falah. They're available.
The Daniels, A24. It's a A24 and Marvel come together.
Much more I would love to see that.
A24
That'd be great
for a Marvel movie. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I what validity do you put a lot of validity in these like rumors that we're hearing about the movie being a total shit show? It sounds like you do.
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot. Honestly, a lot of these sources came from the same person, and he's pretty reliable. So, I find this stuff pretty. I mean, to be fairly honest, I guarantee you, there's a lot of projects like this that are having troubles just because, especially in the Marvel universe, that are just like, it's because there's so much on the line, so much money on the line, that this stuff kind of happens, unfortunately. But yeah, I believe this. I believe this was happening. I think it was a unfortunate thing. So
I just do. It seems that way because, like you said, we've heard absolutely nothing about this movie, but they announced it. And every now and then it creeps up and people talk about it, but we're not getting any. This is the first official news we get about it is the director left.
Yeah.
And we don't know why, which means creative differences. I mean, why the hell else would he leave 1 month before shooting starts? Yeah, something's up there, but I think it's a shit show, and he was just like, I'm not doing this. But that's our opinion. What about yours? Let us know in the comments below if you think that Blade truly is in such a bad place right now, what you think of the director leaving, and also, do you think Blade's a fit for the MCU, or should every single Marvel character show up in the MCU, or some characters just don't fit right? I mean, I think it's okay for not every character. Like I was actually thought higher of them when I heard that they've apparently gone back on it, but when they said that, hey, we're not going to do Punisher because he doesn't fit here, I'm like, oh, well, that's good. Apparently they went back on that, but you know, I thought that was a good idea. But anyway, let us know in the comments below what you guys think.